All right, now that we have our employees, their salaries, allowances, and everything in place, we can go ahead and create our first payroll. So to create your payroll, you go to the payroll tabs. We have no payroll currently, so you'll see the option to create your first payroll. So let's click on that. Now, once you click on create your first payroll, the payroll form comes up, and you'll notice a couple of details here. One, there's a title or a name for your payroll, and this is pre-filled automatically by Techlify HR. You have the option to select the salary class if you want to create the salary for fixed rated employees or time rated employees, and you'll notice the employees change based on the options that I select. So if I select time rated, you'll see Jenny and Jon show up, and if I select fixed rated, you'll see Jon and Pat show up here. Of course, we don't have any weekly or fortnightly employees in our system, so this will be blank if I select that. You'll also be able to specify the payroll period. So if your payroll runs from the 1st to the 31st of the month, or if it runs from the middle of the month to the middle of the next month, you're able to specify that. And then further to that, especially if you're a larger organization, you can customize payrolls by branches and department. So if you wanted to run separate payrolls for each department or separate payrolls for each branch, you can go ahead and do that. Now let's just go ahead and select engineering and finance. Sorry, engineering and operations, because Jon and Pat are in those two departments. And you'll notice that your payroll title gets adjusted. You'll see engineering operations in a square bracket here based on your filter. So that really helps to guide you so that you can understand what is happening by just looking at the payroll name. So you'll understand which departments, which branches, what types of employees are within this payroll. And then here we have a summary, how many employees match the payroll, how many employees don't match the payroll, and we have formats, but we'll delve into formats a little later. So I'm happy with it, my selection. I'm looking at fixed rated monthly for the engineering and operations department. And once I hit save, behind the scenes, Techlify HR takes care of processing and calculating the various values for your payroll, the various taxes, etc. And your pay sheet and pay slips become available to you once calculations are finished. So if I go to pay sheet here, you'll see that basic pay, gross salary, NIS, PAYE, everything is already calculated for you. You can navigate back to your payroll from here. And of course, you'll notice a host of options show up on your payroll, and we'll delve into this a little later. Now that's how you create a fixed rated payroll. Let's also go ahead and create a time rated payroll. So I'll select time rated, and in this case I want engineering and finance because Jenny and Jon, our two time rated employees, are within the engineering and finance department. So I'll go ahead and hit save. Now you'll notice something different on the time rated payroll, that the basic pay is 0 for Jenny and Jon. And that's because for time rated employees, their salaries are calculated based on the hours that they worked. While the fixed rated employees have a fixed salary per month, the time rated employees are calculated based on their salary. So let's take a step back and go to Jenny's profile, and I'll go to timesheets here and add a timesheet for Jenny for the month of May. So you can add timesheets daily, or you can just go ahead and add a single timesheet for the month. And I will say that Jenny worked for 160 hours for the month and no overtime hours, right? And your timesheet form has a host of options. We'll get into that again later on. Now if I hit save, this timesheet will still not be available to my payroll. So if I come back here and I hit recalculate, now this recalculate button allows Techlify HR to update the values calculated for an employee. All right, Techlify HR by default does not automatically update your calculations if you make a change. You need to hit the recalculate. So if I hit recalculate, you'll see Jenny's salaries remain the same, and that's because the timesheet entry is not approved. So I'm going to go ahead and approve that, and if I hit recalculate now, we'll see that Jenny's basic salary gets populated. Let's do the same thing for Jon Ethan. I go to timesheets. I'll add a timesheet record for Jon. a single one for the month, and again I'll say he worked 172 hours, 0 overtime hours, and you'll notice a quick option, save and approve button here. So if I hit save and approve, by default this record gets approved, and I can just go ahead and recalculate for John, and now you see the salary. Again, this is based on the hourly rate for these team members. That's why their salaries are different, because of their hourly rates. But you'll see values are now populated and all their taxes are populated here. I just wanted to take a step back onto payroll. You see a host of options are available on the payroll. You can remove an employee from the payroll, you can adjust calculations, edit the values, recalculate, add adjustments. There is an option to approve or reject the payroll. So if I go ahead and approve this payroll, a couple of things happen. One, you have a host of new reports and options available to you. However, the ability to update any calculations no longer exists. So once a payroll gets approved by the supervisor, HR manager, whoever needs to approve it, all data is frozen in time at this point and nothing can be updated. So I just wanted to highlight that to you. Of course, we'll make more adjustments on these payrolls in future videos. So I'll go ahead and remove this approval, and that there is how we add time rated and fixed rated payrolls for our teams.